Recording, here comes a recording. If you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn or wherever we are live. Welcome to the Public Speaking Expert Podcast. Let me say we are live because we are live like we go live here on the Public Speaking Expert Podcast to bring you the news, the insights, the ways, the trends of how you can go out there and not only be a great speaker, but speak your greatness. And that's what we do here every single week. We are over 100 episodes in, and of course some of you might have noticed as we are early in season 2, that is just me. I am flying solo. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Yes, Jose has flown his wings and he is no longer part of the Public Speaking Expert Podcast. It's very sad. We miss him very much. Must go on, the show must go on. You see, I'm still singing with or without Jose. That's the good news. But today we're going to talk about why you're not having an impact on your audience. And I think it's really important to understand this because a lot of speakers, right? A lot of speakers out there, or a lot of people who are influencers, and a lot of people who are business owners and entrepreneurs who are leaders in their space, they stand up on stage and they just communicate information. They literally, have this verbal diarrhea of information, and therefore they don't actually have the impact they want on their audience. And that's a shame. It's a real shame because in this day and age where people are looking for hope, they're looking for direction, they're looking for you. They want your brand, your products, your services, and whether you could be in the tech world, the recruitment world, the training world, the consultancy world, it doesn't really matter what world you're in. If you're standing on stage, understand a couple of things. You are selling. You're selling, full stop. The other thing to understand is you're an extension of your brand. You are a brand. Whether you're representing a brand, you are still a brand. So if the audience isn't connecting, isn't engaging, you're not having an impact. Therefore, you're not being an influencer. And I don't mean like an Instagram influencer. I mean someone who's influencing. And that's a concern. Excuse me. Had a bit of a cold, so I might cough every now and then. Right? So let me give you 5 reasons why you are not having the impact you want. The first one is you talk way too much about yourself. Now imagine you going, oh my God, I'm going to see Elliot, right? You've booked me to speak. I'm getting paid thousands of pounds. You've paid thousands of pounds to go to the conference. And I spend the first 25 minutes telling you about me with zero connection to you, with no real insight to you. And you're not really understanding why I'm telling you about all these times in my life. Right, or all these things have gone on. All it looks like is I'm standing there and talking about me. That's one reason why you don't have the impact you want, and that certainly is not good. The only influence that will have is on the audience to switch off. Right. The other thing is it's overloaded. So the second one is you give way too many steps, modules, structures, that it actually creates confusion. And again, if someone's confused, here's what happens to them. They look around and they think, why am I confused? Everyone else looks like they get it. I'm a bit stupid. I don't feel great. I don't get this. And guess what? They switch off. So in their mind, even if they're sitting there, they've pulled back. They're not interested, right? So too many steps, too many structures, too many modules, right? The other thing that really doesn't have an impact, and actually, unless it's really, really, really well rehearsed, is reading, right? When you read scripts of talks, what happens is either way you have to look down, right? You have to look down. So that way you're breaking the connection. And if you can't quite read what's coming up next, or you can't quite work out what's coming up next, what happens is you're breaking the energetic connection to the audience. You're creating the eye contact to the audience, and it's not going to have the influence that you want on the audience. So if you are going to use notes, use cue cards, and make sure it's really well rehearsed, that you know how to deliver it, right? And the other thing that stops influence and stops impact on your audience is you're using isolative language. You're not using language that lands on the audience in the right way. You might think that it's accessible language. If you don't have accessible language, then you're alienating. If you're alienating, people switch off, and again, they don't have the impact you want. And a lot of speakers do that. They always talk about things linguistically from their model of the world and how they understand it. Now, that's not always the right language to use when it comes down to these matters. When it comes down to standing on stage, you must keep the language as accessible and as open as possible so I can buy into you, so I can follow you and I can understand you, so I'm present to your talk as a member of the audience. And the other thing is you just haven't grabbed attention, whether that be through your presentation, whether it be through your tonality, whether it be through your slides, whether it be for how you use the stage. There's so many factors to this. Now, of course, when we work with people, we help them on all the above. We help them make sure that every time they speak, they leave an impact on their audience, right? So those are the 5 reasons why you're not having an impact. Those are the reasons why your audience is switching off. And maybe there's 1 or 2 things in there that you didn't quite think about. Like, oh yeah, that's why that happens. Now I get it. That's what's really important. So let's quickly give you like what to do about it. Stop talking about yourself. It's about the audience. You want to elevate the audience. You want to empower, educate, inspire the audience. Look at your whole structure. Look at your whole content. How much of it is designed to elevate them versus you talk about yourself? Now, of course, if you're a motivational, inspirational speaker, a lot of it will be about you, but are you using the right stories to lift them up, right? To elevate them, to make sure there's a connection with you. Too many steps, easy. Filter it down to one clear module, one clear framework, one easy to follow steps, 3, 5, 7, no more, right? Learn your talk. It doesn't have to be scripted word for word. It just doesn't. Learn your talk, deliver it, focus on where you want each section to arrive and focus on arriving there, right? And of course, you're not speaking language that lands. Look at your language. Is it, what's the word I'm looking for? Forgot the word. Is it open? Is it letting people in? Or is it isolating them? And they're going, what does that mean? Oh, I'm not sure that. Or does it sound a bit poncy? Like, ugh, just not nice. It just sounds needlessly overcomplicated. Simple. Make it simple and accessible. And the last one, you haven't grabbed attention. Look, if you want to be influential as a business owner, as an entrepreneur that speaks, if you're using power marketing, you've got to grab attention. Look at your whole presentation. Look at all the factors, the visuals, the slides, the content, your tonality, how you use the stage, how you use your body. Use all of that. So then you're memorable. Now, of course, we can help with that. You know, if you want anything, please reach out. You can DM us on Instagram on the Public Speaking Expert Show. You can send us a message via the website. And of course, you know, make sure you put these tips to use, because there's no point in me recording all these things and you going, oh, that's so nice listening to Elliot. There's no point in you doing that, right? What we really want for you is to go and implement these steps. So please make sure you do that. Okay. So that's been this week's podcast. Why you're not having an impact on your audience, how to engage an audience, and all of the above. Now, make sure you reach out, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Leave us a rating. How are we doing? How well are we doing? And of course, if you leave a positive comment and you send us a picture of it, I'll send you a copy of my book wherever you are in the world. That is a promise, right? You've been listening to the Public Speaking Expert podcast. Go out there. Don't only be a great speaker, but make sure you always speak your greatness. Till next time, people. Bye.